Hello dear my friends, welcome to AW Versatile TV. I am Abdul Wahab and reporting for my own televisions. Today's topic to discuss is the Indian democracy and its declining curve in its soil. India is on the verge of losing its status as a democracy due to the severely shrinking of space for the media, civil society and the opposition under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. The 2020 Democracy Report by the Sweden-based VDEM Institute has observed. Set up in 2014, VDEM is an independent research institute based at the University of Gothenburg and has published a data-heavy worldwide democracy report each year since 2017. As the name suggests, these reports look at the status of democracies in countries around the world. The institute calls itself the world's largest data collection project on democracy. The 2020 report titled Autocratization Shrinks, Resistance Grows begins with the figures that point to the fact that globally the spirit of democracy is on the decline. For the first time since 2001, autocracies are in the majority and comprise 92 countries that are home to 54% of the global population. As very regretfully this report says. It says that major G20 nations and all regions of the world are now part of the third of autocratization, which is affecting major economies with sizable populations like India, Brazil, the US and Turkey. India has continued on a path of steep decline to the extent it has almost lost its status as a democracy. The report wrote in its preface, attacks on freedom of expression, media freedom are now affecting 31 countries compared to 19 years ago. In addition, academic freedom has registered an average decline of 13% in autocratizing countries, one of which is India, over the last 10 years, and the right to peaceful assembly and protest has declined by 14% on average in such countries. The report is unsparing in its reflections of the fact that the slide into autocratization is a worldwide phenomenon affecting absolutely all regions. Sub-Saharan Africa is the only region in the world where a greater share of population is still being affected by democratization rather than autocratization, the report says. The report uses a method of population weightage. The report uses a method of population weightage that measures average democracy levels by population size. That is, how many people are affected to arrive at a liberal democracy index LDI. This index combines measures of the quality of elections, suffrage, freedom of expression and the media, freedom of association and civil society, checks on the executives and other things also included in this report. India, the report finds, is the largest country verging towards a system of autocracy in terms of population. The report lists the 10 top regressing countries by magnitude of change on the LDI over the past 10 years. I am giving the list here below. The report cites the dive in press freedom along with increasing regressions of civil society in India associated with current Hindu nationalist regime of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. To illustrate this, declining press freedom in India is often in the news with the increased slapping of charges ranging from sedition to defamation against journalists, along with increased litigation against news reports and those who write them. Several international bodies have argued for the Modi's government's lenience in this regard. Meanwhile, a central index monitoring cell has been tasked with examining the whys and hows of India's poor ranking on global press freedom indices, and its recommendations are expected very shortly. India's environment of media regression bears striking similarity with a paragraph in report on Hungary, which the VDEM Institute recognizes as a country with the most extreme case of democratic regression in recent times. As a reflection of the growing acceptance of authoritarianism in global politics, the report mentions time and again that Hungary is the first member of the European Union ever to host an electoral authoritarian regime. Viktor Orban, who is increasingly named alongside this triumvirate of Narendra Modi, Donald Trump, and other fellows. The report, which has gained traction on social media now, was originally published in March 2020, just as the peaceful Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act protests across India were forced to withdraw from the streets and move online due to restriction necessitated by the COVID-19 pandemic. It does not take into account fresh human rights violations and further attacks on press freedom during the lockdown and afterwards, or the numerous cases filed against anti-CAA protesters in the recent months. Major pillars of Indian democracy, including parliamentary procedures, the removal of question hour in houses of parliament, and the independence of the judiciary have come into questions in the time that has passed since the publications of this report. Significantly, one of the first paragraphs used in the report is that of a woman in a burqa in India holding up a placard that says, "We want democracy, not dictatorship." This is not the first time India's democracy has been called into questions by an international watchdog. For instance, in the 2019 Democracy Index released this January, India slipped by 10 ranks to the 51st position, a big downgrade. The report was prepared by the intelligence units of the Economist Group. The index categorized India under flawed democracies, which is defined as countries that hold free and fair elections and where basic civil liberties are respected but have significantly weak governance and other ills associated with it. Thank you for watching.